With Tesla moving over 150,000 Model 3s in America for all of 2018, it didn't take long for another manufacturer to come in and try to steal some of Tesla's thunder. I'm at the 2019 Geneva Motor Show, and this is the all-new Polestar 2, an all-electric performance sedan from Volvo. Let's take a first look. Now, in case you guys are a little confused on where Polestar came from, Volvo actually acquired them back in 2009, kind of as their performance division. Only recently did Volvo kind of say that their Polestar brand will kind of go forward to be their EV performance division, where all of their vehicles in the coming years are going to basically be electric cars. The first one we saw was the Polestar 1, which was basically a limited production hybrid with over 600 horsepower. This is going to be the more mainstream Polestar 2. You can see the design has a lot of traditional Volvo design cues from the front. You have the Thor-shaped LED headlights with the LED daytime running lights and LED turn signals. You have a front fascia that kind of reminds me a lot of the S60 with its own unique grille that still surprisingly has air that allows it to flow through. You'd think with an electric car, Volvo would kind of get rid of that. So just like Tesla, underneath the hood of the Polestar 2, you're actually not going to find any kind of engine underneath here because this is an all-electric sedan. Instead, you kind of have this little tiny cargo area that definitely looks smaller than the last Model 3 that I saw in the front trunk area. But of course, this is a liftback, so Volvo does offer the space, or Polestar offers the space in the back. Now underneath this, all this plastic here, Polestar offers this vehicle with two motors. So it's a dual motor, all-wheel drive electric sedan. And basically this launch model, when it comes out, will basically compete with like a Tesla Model 3 Performance. It offers 408 horsepower and 471 pound-feet of torque. Volvo says it has a 78 kilowatt-hour battery pack with the ability to go up to 275 miles in terms of range. Now that is less than what Polestar had originally announced it a couple of years ago, where they said it would have around 330 miles of range, but the company did say 0 to 60 times should be around 4.7 seconds. Of course, with an electric sedan, it doesn't have any gears in the transmission, just a single-speed reduction drive, but it is something that is very competitive with the Model 3, so I'll be looking forward to finally taking this thing out for a drive when it becomes available in 2020. So as you can see from the side profile of the Polestar 2, it has a lot of that traditional sedan look with kind of a blend of crossovers. I don't really particularly like how Volvo looks like they've kind of increased the ride height to make it look like it rides higher. Kind of reminds me a little bit like the Legacy sedan from 10 years ago, along with this cladding here. But what I do like is this particular one has what Polestar calls a performance package. So it's got the OLED gold brake calipers with upgraded brakes. It's got these 20-inch wheels, which look fantastic. They really go well with the overall body profiles of this vehicle. And Polestar basically says at an overall length of around 184 inches, this is right smack in the middle of the compact sedan market. And I think that they did a really good job with the overall silhouette of the vehicle. So from the rear of the Polestar 2, you can see that Volvo went with a really unique design language that kind of takes some cues from what we've seen on the current crop of Volvo sedans, although they did make a big change here to the actual taillights, where it's a full-length, full LED taillight that kind of extends and connects the two tail lamp modules together. I think it's actually a really unique design. Definitely will stand out in a marketplace full of a lot of sedans that kind of look very similar. You have more of that gray-black plastic cladding that's kind of echoed down here at the lower rear fascia, and it kind of gives the vehicle more of a crossover-like look to it. Now, the one thing about this vehicle that makes it super unique is the fact that it's actually a hatchback. You can open up the rear liftback area, and it gives you kind of like a lot of cargo capacity similar to what hatchbacks are. Volvo didn't have actual numbers yet, but you can see this is a lot more than what you're going to get in like a Tesla Model 3, where it's more traditional sedan shape. Underneath the floor here, I am seeing a nice deep cargo area as well, which is very traditional with a lot of electric cars. So on the inside of the Polestar 2, you can see, unlike the Tesla Model 3, which takes a really minimalistic approach, Volvo kind of incorporated their own design language into here. It's got that traditional tablet-style display. It's an 11-inch Sensus Connect display, so it's about an inch larger than what you get on all the other Volvo products. Now, one thing I should say, I should probably stop calling this a Volvo because I don't really see any Volvo badges in this vehicle. It's all got Polestar badges on it, from the emblem to even the window glass, which shows the Polestar name. Now, in terms of the materials, everything in here is actually vegan. Volvo says that Polestar says that nothing in here is made from any actual animal products. The seats, for example, are made from recycled materials. The dashboard is made from recycled materials. You can see here the dash itself doesn't really feel all that luxurious. It's not like what you typically find in other Volvo products, but it'll basically go with the green theme of this vehicle. You can see the tablet-style Sensus Connect display here. Looks fantastic. It's actually the first ever Android-based operating system from this company. It looks beautiful. It's not quite as large as what you get in a Tesla with its 15-inch this display. But some of you may prefer the more tablet style layout, the actual traditional LCD gauges here, front and center of the steering column. You have a really traditional shifter here in the center, which controls the direct drive transmission. You have some really nice volume knobs, really nice buttons in here, and everything kind of feels very cozy. That's the one thing about the Model 3 that I'm noticing is it doesn't feel quite as open as airy because the dashboard is a little bit higher. But a lot of you are going to prefer the more traditional approach. Now, Polestar didn't have any actual charging times for this vehicle, but they did say that it is going to be capable of doing that DC fast charge, so they'll probably have that at a later date. Let's hop into the back seat and see how the space compares with the Model 3. So getting into the back seat of the Polestar 2, you can see this is still a compact sedan by measurements, and surprisingly, there's a good amount of interior space back here. The legroom is very comparable to what you get in the Tesla Model 3. The one thing that you don't get is a completely flat floor. There is a pretty nice hump here that's going to intrude into the center passenger, but overall the headroom is good. There's some good storage. There's rear seat air vents, there's heated rear seats. The materials are also soft touch. It's all that same recycled material that you get for basically the front seats. It's carried over into the back seats. Now, Polestar did say that this vehicle will start at around $63,000 for this launch edition model, which is technically the most expensive way you can get it. Later on, they will be offering a much less expensive version, which they're estimating will be around the $40,000 mark when it comes out. The range will probably be reduced. It'll have less power, but Polestar did say that all these will be the dual motor all-wheel drive setup. So they've got a lot of spec sheets that are correct. It's almost like Polestar just looked at what the Model 3 offers and kind of copied it down to the numbers and the range, although the range is a little bit less. But when this vehicle does go on sale in 2020, it will be built in China, and you can actually put a deposit down for one of these vehicles already at their website. For Redline Reviews at the 2019 Geneva Auto Show, I'm Sofyan Bey.